I've also seen Mr. Narasimha Rao and Modi ji, both working for almost 14-15 hours every day. And for both of them, it's a country first.
Both of them are
And both are
for development
hardcore patriots. So these are the similarities I see. Of course, each may have their own ideology. Nothing wrong in ideology, having one's own ideology.
But their goal is one. It was don't look at East.
Yeah.
But after PV, look at
Things
East.
have changed.
Now that look East policy is being strengthened by Modi government.
Correct. Vajpayee ji himself, when Narasimha Rao ji passed away, when he took over the prime ministership from Mr. Narasimha Rao, he shook hands and they passed on a chitta, in which was very clearly written that Samagri Tayar hai, aage badho. So
everything is ready now.
Everything now we can go ahead.
Right.
So this was his vision.
National media has been writing or showing that PV Prabhakar Rao is going to contest against Rahul Gandhi. Namaste, welcome to Anantha TV. We have with us P.V. Prabhakar Rao, son of the legendary Prime Minister P.V. Narasimha Rao. Namaste, sir.
Namaste.
And we want to hear from you about the Bharat Ratna Award which you have received from the President of India and the moments, the experiences.
It was a wonderful occasion as far as I am concerned. It was an emotional moments, I would say. We've been waiting for this for the last 10 to 15 years. Our family has been waiting. His admirers have been waiting. As you know, lakhs and lakhs of admirers spread all over the world. They have been, in fact, they ran campaigns after campaigns that Narasimha Rao should be given, awarded Bharat Ratna. Not that, it would influence decision making, but definitely it only showed the concern and the love and affection they had for Mr. Narasimha Rao. Notwithstanding all this, it was a wonderful decision by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, who thought that it will be befitting to honor him with Bharat Ratna. And for me, I thought it was blessing from my father, and it was something, a divine intervention, that I should receive the Bharat Ratna from the President. So it was a mixed feeling, you see. On one hand, I was very happy. I was also a little concerned and a little nervous that, it is really happening. I mean, it was a dream come true for me. I've been waiting, as I told you, for such a long time. And when it really happened, I was dumbstruck for a couple of seconds, I would say. So it was on the whole a great experience and a memorable experience. And it was a red letter day in my life, I would say.
That I heard that the interactive session after the award ceremony, Prime Minister Narendra Modi was telling a lot about P.V. Garu.
Yes.
And some of the reforms he was mentioning in the gathering.
Yes, we had a very good interactive session subsequent to conferring the award. All the VVAPs we gathered in a place, and then of course there was a mention about Mr. Narasimha Rao's contributions, and he has not made it private. He has made it public subsequently through a platform, X platform. The kind of respect he had for Mr. Narasimha Rao was visible. He was so affable, when I was talking to him, he received with a lot of warmth, I would say. And very affectionately he was talking to me, and of course, I must say, the rest of the other people of VVAPs also were very affectionate. I would say it was as a respect for Mr. Narasimha Rao was visible everywhere.
Yes.
So that's what I found.
So you captured those moments.
I captured, I don't know whether they were captured by a camera or not, but it was a memorable day for me. no doubt about that.
So I mean to say, you captured those moments means you have
Yeah,
recorded.
they
Yes.
will be there in my life throughout.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And each person who was there was a very accomplished person in his own field. President, for example, or the vice president, and the home minister was there, and president of BJP party, Mr. Nadda was there, and of course Congress party head, Mallikarjun Kharge was also there. So it was, I could see some, a sense of what you call warmth for Mr. Narasimha Rao, and by virtue of this, that warmth also was, inadvertently shown on me, you see. So I would say I was a fortunate one.
There is a similarity, according to the political corridors, between P.V. Garu and Modi ji. Both were having passion. P.V. Garu was having passion, and Modi ji is having passion for development, prosperity, and reforms. These three angles. Perhaps that might have connected both of them, though they are from different parties and different ideologies.
Yeah.
Am I correct?
That's absolutely right. In the sense, Narasimha Rao's ideology was different. Although he belonged to old school of thought of Nehruvian politics and ideology, he thought by 91 that things have to change a bit. He always called it as continuity with change. You see. So he brought in so many reforms in 1991 when the country was passing through a crisis. In fact, I would always say 91 to 96 was the most turbulent time.
Yes.
Post-independence era, and also most productive. Productive from the point of view of bringing in the reforms in various sectors, and turbulent from the point of view of so many issues which were facing the country. The foremost was the economic crisis. You see, he had to do the firefighting the day he started his prime ministership. He started firefighting, you see. And fortunately, with his experience and the expertise and the capacity to learn very fast, Narasimha Rao had this innate capacity or innate quality of learning things very fast. So within 3 months, his BOP crisis, which the country was facing at that time, that was solved. But he took that as an opportunity. So this is a great lesson for youngsters, you see. How to convert a crisis into an advantage.
An opportunity.
So Mr. Narasimha Rao did that. 3 months later, the BOP crisis was almost extinguished. But he took that as an opportunity to bring in the reforms what we see today, which form the basis and they laid foundations for the new India what we see today. You see. And what is very significant, what everybody has to understand is, see, every government which came after Mr. Narasimha Rao, be it Devagowdaji's government or Vajpayeeji's government or Manmohanji's government, and of course Modiji's government, they all followed the same path. Narasimha Rao set the direction, I would say, through his economic reforms, and that direction was followed by all the governments. Yeah. They normally, when we see in the normal parlance, if somebody does something, they either find fault with it or try to improvise it. The subsequent government either change it or they do away with it. But this is one policy of Mr. Narasimha Rao, the economic reforms policy. It's been continuing for the last 30 years. That is very significant, I would say. That's the greatest contribution of Mr. Narasimha Rao. And what we have to understand is, see, the greatest contribution, in my opinion, is changing the focus from negative politics to positive politics.
Yes, very true.
So he started a debate, a discourse that the economy should be given the focus. So this is something which I say it's very significant from Mr. Narasimha Rao's side, and it has changed the contours of Indian economy, laid a wonderful foundation for the economy to grow. Today, if you are proud of the country being the fifth, largest economy, I think the foundations were laid definitely and firmly by Mr. Narasimha Rao and Dr. Manmohan Singh's combination. There's no doubt about that. And recently, our Prime Minister made a very significant statement that about 40 crore people have come out of, have risen out of poverty line.
They crossed that
Cross
poverty
the
line.
poverty line.
Yes.
This is something which is very significant.
Now they are above poverty line.
And I think if you trace back this great development or this significant, what do you call, accomplishment, we can trace it back to the economic reforms which were brought in 1991 to 96. So I think from that point of view, that economic reforms point of view, and the personalities, I have also seen Mr. Narasimha Rao and Modi ji, both working for almost 14-15 hours every day. And for both of them, it's a country first.
They have, both of them have
And both are
passion for development and
hardcore
reforms.
patriots.
Yeah.
So these are the similarities I see. Of course, each may have their own ideology. Nothing wrong in ideology, having one's own ideology.
But their goal is one.
Goal is one. See, I keep saying all the time that vehicles may be different, but the destination is same, and that destination is, deliverability. See, once we form the government, what do we do after that? That really makes all the difference, you see. Forming the government, yes, it is difficult, but then after that, what? How much are we able to solve the issues? How much are we able to, wipe to the aspirations of the people? Because the aspirations of the people are also changing from time to time.
Yeah.
See how quickly you adapt and live up to their expectations and do something concrete and substantial in that, tenure. That's what really matters. So, Mr. Narasimha Rao's 5 years will always be remembered as something like in watershed years, post-independent era. So, his contribution has been not only, what we know is economic reforms, but if you want to describe Mr. Narasimha Rao, you should describe him as a man of reforms. That was the most apt way of describing him. Because every job he took up, right from 1962, he tried to breathe in some fresh air into that department. You see, the first assignment was jails minister. He brought in open jail system right then when nobody thought about it. So he was the first person to bring it in the country.
Now it's being adopted in every state of the
Yes,
country.
now everybody adopts it. And then as chief minister, the land reforms, he was the first person to bring in the country. So, and Navodaya schools.
And I was told, sir, through my history lecturers and sociology lecturers, that because of land reforms, he lost his chief minister. But
exactly.
But he did not give up that.
Correct.
He wants to implement it, and he had implemented it. And I was told that hundreds of acres of land belongs to PV family.
Yes, we had to give up our own. We had about 2,000 acres of land.
So young.
2,000 acres of land we had, and we gave up everything. It was distributed to the poor. Just kept what was required. 100 acres or whatever was permitted by the land reforms. Only that we kept. Rest of the things were during the lifetime of Mr. Narasimha Rao itself. He distributed the entire land. So his, penchant or the desire to change things around him was obvious and visible right from the first assignment he took. Every assignment he took up. As I told you, when he became the HRD minister, Rajiv ji asked him, I want you to do something which will make people, posterity to remember our government. Yeah. And Mr. Narasimha Rao said, you leave it to me. And these Navodaya schools were brought in at that time. Today, more than 600 Navodaya schools are working, and they are working so efficiently. See, lakhs and lakhs of backward, students from backward areas.
And in fact, sir, that initiation of P.V. Garu had prompted several philanthropists to donate away their lands, their buildings.
Exactly.
In my birthplace, Guntur, Desbhakta Konda Venkatappa Pantulu family, they have given away entire properties of them to this Navodaya school.
This is exactly what Mr. Narasimha Rao wanted, you see. See, those days having thousands of acres, was a matter of prestige. Not that they have cultivated all the thousands of acres. Everybody cultivated only 80 acres or 100 acres, that's it. But as a matter of prestige, I have 1,000 acres, somebody says I have 2,000 acres. And paying tax for no reason. But this game is, as a blessing in disguise, you say, when the, land reforms were brought in. Everybody thought, okay, now, right royally, I can give away all this land and also, keep the land whatever is required. And people who do not have land, for them it was some sort of, even if it's 2 acres, 5 acres, whatsoever land they got, it's a sense of, I also have some land, a self-esteem,
ownership,
a self-respect. I am a landowner now, not a land, person who is working in some fields. This kind of self-esteem he wanted to give it to the people. This is what he used to say during his lifetimes. So, and lookist policy, with improvisations, he was continuing even till this day. So, he had a long
when
vision.
it was Nehru's time, it was don't look at east.
Yeah.
But after PV, look at
things
east.
have changed.
Look east.
So,
And
a
now
lot of
it is,
things like this.
now that lookist policy is being strengthened by Modi government.
Correct. So that's why I say the reforms which are started by Mr. Narasimha Rao are probably being taken to a logical, destination by Mr. Modi. So I see the connect there.
By the way, another related question, maybe straight away not related to the subject which we are discussing. National media has been writing or showing that P.V. Prabhakar Rao is going to contest against Rahul Gandhi as a BJP candidate.
I don't know really. I mean, nobody broached this subject to me. I have been apolitical, being in politics on and off, trying to help my brothers, sisters, my family members. But I have not been active in active politics throughout my life. So somebody is saying that I am going to contest against XYZ, I think it's more of a conjecture at this point of time, because nobody discussed this matter with me. But as I told you, I belong to a political family and politics is not new. Had the opportunity to work with father and learn a lot of things from his experience. And, the way he used to handle people, the reforms process as such, when he embarked on the reforms, the kind of work he used to put in, See, he would not just, make a statement tomorrow and say reforms are going to be valid from tomorrow. No, he used to do a lot of homework on that. He used to extensively talk with experts, understand it, analyze it, formulate a policy, implement it, and then wherever required, do the course corrections. This was the entire process, entire gamut of issues in the reformation process, which used to go through very rigorously. So I have seen him doing all these things. I know the kind of troubles he faced, the crisis he faced, how he overcame them.
Turmoils he had experienced.
Turmoils he had to face. And, the adroitness he has shown in solving the issues, especially the Punjab issue, which was prevalent, it was law and order issue. There was not a day when either...
Even Ayodhya issue.
So these are the things which I have seen him in close quarters solving these issues. So we have learnt a lot from him. So politics is not new. If any, opportunity comes in the proper way.
That the political corridors in the national media, they have been writing and they have been telling also that Modi ji's size is P.V. Prabhakar Rao.
I have also heard about it, but then these are all far-fetched stories, I would say, at the moment, because nobody talked to me in any detail. So at the moment, we'll have to call it only as a strong rumor and just leave it at that. So.
And coming to PV subject again, as a towering personality, he is a multifaceted personality. See, even after 100 years, means recently birth centenary was also carried out across the country, even in some European countries also. He had followers there. So after this, see, once we look at the history from 1947, we have several prime ministers, but every second citizen of the country, they are interested to learn and talk about PVR. Why?
It is, I would say, a very exclusive personality of Mr. Narasimha Rao. Bharat Ratnas, as we know, are given to people who excel in one particular field. You say.
He is a multifaceted person.
It's a multifaceted person, and not just on a cursory level, on the superficial level. In each of these fields,
he had authority.
He had authority and is risen to the topmost position. In politics, we know that he has risen to the Prime Minister's post. Likewise, in literature, he was holding the post of Chairman Gyanpith Award for almost so many years, you see. So that is the highest recognition one can get in literature. He was a man of technology. Many may not know him because he studied astronomy. He understood, even he excelled in mathematics. So he took a lot of interest in technology. The missile technology, which we are very proud of today, was developed during his time. The nuclear technology, what we talk about, again was developed during his time. We know that episode where, this was told by Vajpayee ji himself when Narasimha Rao ji passed away, that when he took over the Prime Ministership from Mr. Narasimha Rao, he shook hands and they passed on a chitta, a small slipper, in which was very clearly written that Samagri Tayare, Aage Bado. So
everything is ready now.
Now we can go ahead. Right. So this was his vision, that a country has to be strong, country has to be stable.
Personalities that they used to respect each other.
Absolutely, they had great respect for each other. And you may not know that Ms. Narasimha Rao's Insider book was released by Vajpayee ji, and Vajpayee's book was released by Narasimha Rao ji. And they were great friends, and that's what is, a healthy democracy. That's how it should function, you see. See, having rivalry is another thing. Rivalry should not convert to enmity.
That should be confined to
service, rivalry, to do some extra service. That's a healthy way of having a rivalry, you see. But then things have changed. Today, this rivalry has been going to the extent of enmity, which is not good for democracy, I would say.
And people who knew P.V. Garu from close quarters, they used to tell that his personality resembles Sardar Patel's personality.
Yes, in a way. Mr. Narasimha Rao took a lot of time in taking decision. I have seen in my life. But once the decision is taken, it was unshakable. You could not change him. That was a similar trait which Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel ji also displayed. You see. That way, of course, personality also matches many people say that. But then this trait that, once decision taken, stick to it and never go back, is something which was unique in him. And I found that in Mr. Narasimha Rao, in his character also. But before taking the decision, he would consult as many people as possible. He'll see the pros and cons of it and take a little time. But once decision taken, he will never go back on that.
And as the family member of PVR, our audience wish to know few more interesting points about PVR.
I would say, I would put it this way. There are a lot of things which one has to learn from Mr. Narasimha Rao. Shraddhavan labhate jnanam. There's a saying in Gita. What it says is, if you have a desire to learn, a yearning for learning, is what we call it as, you can learn anything. See, age is only a number. At the age of 65, you will not believe, Mr. Narasimha Rao started learning computers. And within a very short period, see, I belong to a technological background. Yeah. And within 1 year, I could see him almost excelling in computer, the way he used computers. And he started, writing small programs also in 1990. And this has led to the IT revolution, what we see today. He knew the potential of IT. He called all the experts of IT field at that time, not in from India, from elsewhere in the world, and told them only one thing. He said, I want IT to be number one sector, not only in India, but our people are very good in desk work, not field work. So do something to support these youngsters, these youth, and the experts or the doyens of IT industry at that point of time. They just wanted two things to be given. One was STPs, which we see now, special zones for
special
technological parks, which came up all over the country. And they wanted all the exports of IT exports to be exempted from income tax. And Narasimha Rao, granted that then and there, and thus gave the impetus to IT industry. Today, wherever we go, not only in India, everywhere in the world, we see wonderful IT professionals doing a great job, not only for themselves, but for the country. So I think this credit for development of IT industry should be given to Mr. Narasimha Rao. The first IT park came up in Hyderabad.
Yes.
During his regime. I think it was Janardhan Reddy Garu was the chief minister, and of course Narasimha Rao was monitoring it on a daily basis. So that was his interest in IT industry, which led to such a big revolution in this sector. This is one thing what we have learned. What we have to, the next generation has to understand. And second thing is a very touching moment for me, and I keep telling this in every interview. At 1980, not 80, 2002, yes. 2002, he had a problem with his fingers. See, as I told you, he had an innate quality of converting crisis into
an
opportunity. See, why I'm telling this as an innate qualities, because in 2002, when he had this problem of fingers, the doctors gave a soft ball and they said, you keep doing this exercise. Press this short ball morning and evening, and a period of time it will be all right. Narasimha Rao said, no, I don't want to do this. He asked his private secretary to get an electronic keyboard, and ritually, you will not believe, from 2002 to 2004, morning and evening he was playing on the keyboard. See, it was an exercise to his fingers. Yeah. He solved the problem and also learnt a new skill. See, he has converted that
playing a keyboard.
Crisis into an opportunity to learn a new skill. You see, this was innate in him. This quality. And 2004, just 5-6 months prior to his demise, he was telling me, Prabhakar, I am now ready for a concert, musical concert. You see, so that was his yearning for learning, any new thing. And he used to tell us all the time, try to learn something new every day. Just before you go to sleep, ask yourself a question. Have you learned anything new?
What did I learn today?
And the answer is yes. Then sleep peacefully. Otherwise, at least that you carry forward the next day and learn, compensate that the next day. So this was his way of life. And he followed this every day. He used to read one book. That was irrespective of his being busy. Throughout his life. And language didn't matter. He knew 13 languages. So in 8 languages he could write poetry.
He had
expertise in that. So these are some of the qualities, some unique personality which will be a great inspiration for the next generation. So when I took this Bharat Ratna from the president, the immediate flash of thought which came to me was, it's a great responsibility probably my father is giving to me to take his thought process to the next generation. It's a great responsibility. and I should live up to his expectation. This stuck to my mind. So that's what I keep telling my family members also, that whatever time I am left with, see what best we can do to see. He has done an experiment which worked for the country. Why reinvent the wheel again? Take that thought process forward. If the country is going to benefit out of it, why not? So all we have to do is put in a little extra effort. Tell the next generation, people who really matter in the country, that this is something which he has done and it worked. Please do it again. It will work. So this is the assignment which inadvertently I have taken it upon myself, and I would like to continue.
Thank you, Mr. Prabhakar garu. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
We must and we should remember PV garu forever. We have learned so many new aspects, new things from PV Prabhakar Rao about PV and Rao garu. See, when we are talking about a reformist, we need to look at the difficulties they have faced during the process of bringing in reforms, which Mr. P.V. Narasimha Rao had experienced. When he took up the aspect of land reforms, he lost his power, but he did not give up his combating spirit, which had taken him to the level of Prime Minister of India. So, thank you for the interview, sir.
Thank you very much for giving this opportunity to share my ideas with you. Thank you.